It was a made-up coin with a cartoon picture of a dog that had an infinite supply that printed 10 million a day. So you had the coin itself, which was atrocious in its economics and everything about it. But you had the rallying cry of it. For whatever reason, it got pegged as the coin of us versus them. Banking sector, all crooks, the elite, let's all get together over here. If all of them were saying it's us versus them, we can do it from over here. If we're even 10% right, although it might be hard for you to believe, but this does happen at least once in life, you are actually at the right place, right time. People got into Facebook. The people that didn't get in always say the same thing. Oh man, if I was there at that point, I would have got in. Be so blessed. You guys are lucky. If I saw them, I would get in. No, you wouldn't. Because when Facebook just was starting, it was a college dropout that was making a glorified blog site that was only accessible to college students. They invented social media, so it didn't exist. Everyone looked at it saying, what is that? Take advantage of the right place at right time. You have to see the vision going forward. If you're going to create a market, it's two components. The economics have to work and the sentiment has to work. One works and one doesn't. Investment is unique. Those that get involved are looking out to the future. Or communicator of what's ahead of you will not believe in you. And if they don't believe in you, that means they don't get in. And if no one invests in the future never comes. You have to understand markets and you have to understand psychology. Put them together. You might be someone that leads a revolution. I believe that's important. The credentials to do what we are going to do and what they're right in front of you. The median house price divided by the median income, you would get 2.5 to 3.5. In 2007, it got up to like 7.5, 8. The average person couldn't afford a home. 50% of people are about to be homeless, which means there has to be a rehabilitation of that. And then one day things started collapsing, and that's how Anthony made his name. My team and myself contacted Facebook executives, and they have private stock. And at some point, they want to monetize it. They can only monetize it when it goes public because there's no market for it. Well, we gave them a market. We said, we will buy your stock from you. We will give you a $10 billion valuation on it. Whoever's looking to sell, you got us. And we distributed it to our investors. In 2012, Facebook went public. Our $10 billion valuation eventually exceeded $1 trillion. Those that knew Anthony during his Wall Street career are very fond of Anthony. In 2017, I founded Rhino. In fact, every one of my clients is in Rhino. Rhino was just an idea, but the world needs a superhero. Why not us? That is the DNA of Rhino. In 2020, we created the Rhino 20 trading algorithm. It has a lifetime accuracy of 91%. In 2021, we launched Rhino Bucks. 1 penny. We had simply said to everyone, this is what we're going to do. Nothing had been done yet, but if you believe in us, this might be a good idea. We believe that we will go public at $1 in 1 year. Now, $1 is not a very high price, but it is 100 times higher than a penny. In 2022, October 17th, we went public at $1. We achieved that 100x goal. Nothing's ever guaranteed in life, but when you start seeing all of these really big goals being accomplished, you start realizing there's a pattern there. And in 2023, which is this year, the last price of Rhino is $2.46. Our internal projections are that we will hit $10 by December, $50 by June of next year, and $100 or $1,000 by December of next year. Now, I understand 100 and 1,000 are really far apart from each other. Is that Rhino has a virality. Business can go as usual, but when it gets to that certain point of scale, it's gone. It's like a snowball going down a hill. You might be able to stop it, but when it gets to a certain size, that is how Rhino is built. If we hit that, 1,000's likely be on the low end. I think there's a lot of room for you to be impressed. The bottom left circle is the liquidity. I want to say this very clearly, unambiguously. In crypto, and I understand that regulation's coming into it and it's not as wild as it once was, but it still has a lot of bad actors. That $121,000 is cash that's sitting in the market to guarantee any sale, any point, 24/7, any reason. You don't have like 5 buttons to click. You don't need permission. This is how you sell. Done. Dogecoin didn't fail. Crashing means, oh, this was a really good idea, but something went wrong. We need to fix it. Rhino sees Dogecoin as a case study, a really powerful indication that given the right opportunity, such a phenomenon could easily be replicated, reflecting the true aspirations of the masses. So I pulled apart every bit of it, and I wanted to see if I could identify the critical factors, if improved, could create something bigger. This is a chart of Dogecoin. In January 2021, $100 equal 1.471 million by May of 2021. Within a year, you would have lost 86% of your money. So the 5 critical factors, the first one being crypto's completely complicated. It took me months to even learn how to do any of this stuff. Those that saw Dogecoin and saw it flying, in fact, I would estimate that maybe 5% of people that want to buy Dogecoin actually are able to. My background is on Wall Street. Call your broker, yeah, I'll buy it. The big money's not in buying and selling and trading stocks. The big money's in retirement. I want to just set up a plan that's easy for me, and I want to know it's going to be there when I retire and let it build. Let me put in a little bit every week, every month. Made our partnerships with Stripe, Square, PayPal, JP Morgan, American Express. They allow us to welcome people weekly subscription agreement, in which case it's your name, it's your email, your payment information. When you select a plan, you check out. Okay, I opted into $1 a week. I opted into $25 a week. You get a confirmation email that says, all right, the next steps is you have to get your wallet address. So we pick the wallets that are the largest and have customer service to them in case anything ever goes wrong. If I can denote step by step, press the button over there, go to the next screen, scroll halfway down. You see that big orange button, click that. If I can give that to someone, yes, that's what I need. So FOMO is the fear of missing out. It transcends logic to emotion. It's like, I just don't want to miss out. Like, this thing keeps happening. And the fear of missing out is synonymous with those that are pessimistic. You're optimistic, you're already in. Okay, fine, I'm sick of missing out, just get me in. If you have an asset that is going up so quickly that people are just throwing anything in because they're fearing missing out, at some point, that asset encapsulates all of the money available. And when all the money available is in it, and you now have 2, 3, 4 days of nothing because no one has more money to put in, all you have left is sellers. When you have no buyers and only sellers who were getting in for the momentum and now they see there's no momentum left, what happens? Of course, Rhino is weekly subscription plans. There is no FOMO. There's no one that says, oh my God, so this is going so well. I got it at $1 billion. I got it at $1 million. You should too. You should too. Why haven't? No, you can't. The best way to own Rhino is 2 years ago or today. And as you build up that equity, well, now you're a larger equity holder. We've purposely made it that the only way you could get in is through the plan. So you see that chart ahead of you? That's 2 months of Dogecoin. In what world would any reasonable adult feel comfortable putting any large amount of money in that chart? Even if you said to yourself, Dogecoin is the best, this thing I want to retire on, you're telling me that you'd be comfortable putting $1 million in, watching it go down to 100,000, watching it go back up to 1.5 million, watching it then to go to 1 million, watching it go to 1.3 million during that entire 2 month span? Just another day. Fine, I believe in the long term. That's crazy. Can you make the argument the money that was in Dogecoin only represented a portion, a sliver of the money people had that they would allocate to such a thing because the volatility prevented them from doing so? The answer is yes. If you ask me, Anthony, what percentage would you put into that? I would say maybe 7.5 to 10% because it looks exciting, but I would never allow that to be a large portion of my portfolio because look how crazy it is. As it went up and that 10% now represented 20, I would sell 10% to keep it at 10%. Rhino is weekly subscription plans. We can calculate 7 days in advance. You'll never have a moment. Okay, I can't believe this has happened. I have to do something. I have to do something now. What do I do? Should I buy? Should I sell? I don't know you always know what's going on. You have 7 days ahead of you of buying that's already scheduled. We have it as a public ledger that everyone in the world looks at. Rhino is low dollar plans. And we do that purposely because Rhino is the people. Rhino is Main Street. Because it's a low dollar plans, the economy is just so tough. Everything's so tough. I had to cancel my $1 a week. Do you know how bad the economy has to get for you to go ahead and cancel that plan? We're not saying that doesn't happen to people. That could very easily happen. But if that were to happen to someone, it's not going to be representative of a large segment of population. It's going to probably be representative of something personal too, like that individual has medical bills or a divorce or something. The amount of individuals that would ever cancel Rhino, unless they just don't like Anthony, right? Like Anthony, you smell, don't like you. But the amount of individuals that would cancel their Rhino plans are very, very low because the plan amounts are very low. If you can predict that a large percentage of population would never cancel, the retention of those plans are very high, then what volatility can you ever expect? This is how we structure it. We built it for that to be the result. Everyone convinced there's no one left to buy. When somebody sells, there's no one left to buy what they're selling. Everyone just starts getting scared because there's no one buying what they're selling. Only reason you ever hold an asset is because you believe it's going to gain value. The only way it could gain value is if the future has more buying than the past. If you know that there's no more buying ahead of you, well, then there's no reason to own it because they'll go lower. If you know there's buying ahead of you, then you hold it. We solve buyer scarcity as well buyer certainty. Every week, your plan is automated. When you have such a large base with such a low dollar amount, you know that there's a certainty. You know all the buying within the next 7 days, that's buyer certainty. And two things with Dogecoin, the economics were completely atrocious. You had an infinite amount of coin. By mathematics, this was always going to crash. If you're getting into something that you know mathematically is going to crash, how much money do you really put in it? But then more importantly, everyone knew this, but it didn't matter. That's what made it such a phenomenon. People wanted to be in because they believed that this was going to be the solution. This was going to reverse the decay in society, rebalance the power from the 1% back to the 99%. The problem was when you asked any member that was actually in Dogecoin and said, hey, listen, that sounds amazing. I want to be a part of that too. So how does Dogecoin actually solve this? Well, we're in this thing and it's going to keep going up, and eventually it's going to go up high enough and it's going to break the banks. And when the banks are broken, then this will be worth a lot of money. And it never had anything that solved why people were getting into it. It just happened to be representative. What really caught our attention with Dogecoin was, well, then what if you were actually able to create something that fulfilled it? Well, that's Rhino. How do we solve those inherent flaws? Well, first of all, there's only 1 billion Rhino. And when you know there's a limited supply, the more buying equals a higher price. Because if you grow the buyers and the supply never grows, each individual component to be worth more money because now you have more demand for the same amount of good. And then secondly, filling the desire of the people, Rhino has a really strong platform. This is exactly what we do. In fact,
by addressing Dogecoin's structural limitations and providing a tangible, unifying solution, a much more significant and sustainable phenomenon can be realized. Until now, no one has successfully tackled all 5 of these factors at once.
Rhino Street provides no ads, no marketing, no data tracking, and the results are the 20 miles around you. This ensures that small businesses are not tracked, targeted, or subjected to high costs. Furthermore, by not being targeted with paid ads from large multinational companies, small businesses and local communities can focus their resources on their own marketing efforts. It is the only platform that gives local businesses the ability to build relationships with their customers without the interference of big tech. It is the only platform that allows small businesses to save money by not having to pay for expensive advertising campaigns. It is the only platform that allows small businesses to focus on their local community and create a more tailored experience for their customers. And it is the only platform that allows small businesses to create a more unique and personalized experience for their customers.
RHINOWeb is an online educational membership group designed to help anyone from any background learn valuable skills, gain beneficial certifications, and apply for new job opportunities. We offer a comprehensive adjusted lifestyle of support, such as financial help with housing, rent, groceries, internet, childcare, grants, scholarships, and investment assistance. We provide access to 40 of the most powerful artificial intelligence products and have identified the top 20 careers over the next decade, with the corresponding curriculums and certification programs from companies like Facebook, Google, Salesforce, Microsoft, among many others. We also host daily live teaching sessions, just like a college professor. Our goal is to teach anyone the skills they need to pass the certification within 14 days and then provide guidance through the entire hiring process. With RHINOWeb, we believe anyone can achieve amazing success and become part of the Forever Rhino family.
The financial gains for a retail investor with access to reliable algorithmic trading tools would be substantial. Our crown jewel is our Rhino proprietary algorithmic trading tool used to identify potential trend reversals in the stock market. Using deep learning and custom AI tools that leverage neural networks to analyze large amounts of data, Rhino can help you identify potential trend reversals before they occur, giving you a valuable edge in the market. Don't give up on your dreams. With Rhino, the technical analysis tool that's revolutionizing the stock market, you can make wise investments and achieve the success you desire. When we identify a viable trading opportunity, you will be notified within 6 hours so that you can take action whenever suits your schedule. Every opportunity comes with 2 exit prices already programmed, so you know the risk and reward before entering the trade, and the trade will close automatically. Rhino provides all the research and parameters, and it is up to you to decide whether to participate or not. We invite you to join Rhino for the ultimate solution to stock market success.
Rhino is the only subscription-based digital currency in the world. allowing people to contribute as much or as little as they want, similar to other types of retirement plans. You simply set your plan once and that's it. Investment plans are weekly and each investment is processed at the market price. By consistently buying in weekly, this creates a market price that is constantly increasing. Be part of the future of money and reap the rewards.
Allow me to be clear, you're one of us, and I think you should be with us for this extraordinary journey. All of us are coming together for this project to reshape the future of money and community hand in hand. As the 1 billion supply of RHINOBICs depletes to zero, all the 100% of automated buying will then shift to the public market. Among those who have RHINOBICs are now left to sell. The buying will outpace the lesser willing sellers. To address this, Rhino shatters all norms with a very unique at market price feature.
This is because when there is an imbalance of supply and demand, the only way to entice more people to sell is by offering them more money.
This allows sellers to set their desired price, which the automated buying system will accept. This will lead to continuous increases in price, benefiting all members.
So, if an investor owns 1 million shares of a stock and the stock goes up $1, that investor is now worth $1 million more.
And because it's a subscription model, automated buying, automated at market acceptance, the continuous price increase are everlasting unless everyone sells everything. And simultaneously, otherwise the absolute buying would eat up the fractured selling. Together, RHINOBICs, Rhino Street, and Rhino Hub create a powerful ecosystem where people are protected, educated, and granted access to high-paying jobs. By investing in themselves, individuals become wealthier, fostering a thriving economy and community that discourages selling behavior. This virtuous cycle propels RHINOBICs to new heights, positioning it as the Netflix to Dogecoin's blockbuster.
Rhino is a revolutionary project that has the potential to change the way people think about investing. We have seen an overwhelming amount of support from our members who understand and believe in our mission to witness the largest wealth transfer in history. It is time to dream loudly.
You'll know everything at every point. I personally host live meetings every day, take all of our scheduled calls, all of my emails. Everyone in Rhino knows that Rhino really is the people. People in Rhino say, I'm Rhino. There is nothing that Anthony will not do to make sure that Rhino continues pushing forward. Now, when I say secret sauce and cause and effect, well, the numbers on the bottom left that I'm going to read to you are unprecedented. You will not find any asset in the entire world that's market related with these numbers. There's been 291,523 Rhino that have been purchased. Only been 49,358 Rhino ever sold. 83.1% of Rhino that is purchased is held. That's less than 17% of Rhino that's ever been purchased has been sold. That equals a 4.91 times greater buying than selling. For every sale, there's 5 buyers. You would say to yourself, well, Ant, if that's the case, Rhino should really be flying to the moon. And it will be, but it's not, because we purposely don't want it to. I'm going to walk through the dynamics and economics of Rhino. Total Rhino supply is 1 billion. Today, that supply comes from us. Anyone that purchases Rhino comes from Rhino. It doesn't matter how much higher the buying is than selling, unless it's in the billions, we're able to satisfy the market. It's when all the supply from Rhino is gone that number actually starts really coming into account. Let's say 100 times more buying than selling is happening. Cumulative number is 1 million Rhino got purchased today. Well, we have the Rhino. We could distribute the 1 million Rhino out. What does that do to price? Well, it doesn't change the price at all because we're distributing the Rhino. But the money that comes in then buys the Rhino on the market. The price goes higher. But we want Rhino to stay stable, to be non-volatile, to allow every peace of mind. The balance of the funds go into Rhino. You remember the first slides, that bottom left-hand number, the 120,000? That's the value of Rhinos. All the money that comes in, the balance of it goes right there. So it's always in Rhino, but the price is able to move stably. Well, that's a nice benefit that we have. That's a real luxury. Everyone seems to like it. Everyone likes being in something that's stable and that's comfortable, that has a buffer, that it's just the perfect investment. But here's the key. When the billion coin from Rhino is gone, when we don't have that supply anymore, where does it get bought from? Well, it gets bought from the market. It's a publicly traded asset. It's anywhere on the exchanges. So if there's 5 times more buying than selling on a public market where everyone owns it and there's no way to distribute it, the price stable, what happens to the price? That's when the magic happens. Because buying is completely automated every week, because the buying is 5 times that of the selling, well, what about the other 4 individuals looking to buy the Rhino? How do they buy the Rhino? The way markets get reconciled is with higher pricing. So you must entice the others that are unwilling to sell. And the only way you can do that is by raising your price so that they say, well, I was unwilling to sell at 10, but I'll sell at 12, I'll sell at 15, I'll sell at 20. The automations that are in your Rhino, there is an at market price function built into it. Is when the market does not have the Rhino to be sold, it allows the sellers to dictate their own pricing. Well, Ant, what if a seller says, all right, well, I could set any price, I want $1 million. It doesn't really work like that. The pricing purchases the lowest dictated price. So obviously there's going to be much more reasonable sellers that are like, okay, it's $10, I'll sell it $10.25. Okay, great, that's what gets sold. All right, what about the next person? All right, I'll $10.50, $10.60, $10.70. When you build such a function in anything, as long as the buying is higher than the selling, the price will always go higher. Because all holders have weekly recurring plans and all future buying is already scheduled, no one fears the absence of any buying. What would be the reason for you to sell if you know the next 7 days all of these buys are still happening and it's 5 times higher than the people that are willing to sell? Would you sell knowing that for the next 7 days the price is going to continually increase? Probably not. Which means what we're talking about right now is actually perfect. It's built in for selling behavior to decrease. At the same time, it's for buying behavior to increase. And that spread equals more automated buying at dictated market price. Once the supply is gone, there is no turning back. We will have 100,000 accounts by the time that 1 billion supply is gone. At minimal, it's 5-to-1 buying to selling. That means out of every 100,000 weekly transactions, again, they're weekly, every single week they're going to happen, 80,000 of them will be at market price. Do you know what Rhino price will look like when it goes up 80,000 times every single week? Would you ever sell anything that goes up 80,000 times in a week? And if you're not willing to sell it, well, that whole 5-to-1 ratio becomes 10-to-1 to 20-to-1 to 30-to-1. The buying's always scheduled 7 days in advance. So how does this thing crash? If everyone collectively sells all their Rhino and cancels their plans at the same time. And to go ahead and give you a bit of an example, let's say there's 100,000 plans. If 50,000, which is half, sold all their Rhino and canceled their plans simultaneously, what would happen to the other 50,000? They would just buy it. Now you might say, well, Ant, that's a little bit unfair because they probably have balances. They have accounts. If they sell everything that they own, it would surely be more than just the recurring plans of those other 50,000. Yeah, it would be. So what would happen? Well, Rhino would go down in price. Maybe it would drop 10% that day. Well, there's only one of two things to do when you see something go down. Either you sell it because you believe it's going to continue going down, or you buy it because you think it's going to go up. So Rhino's down 10%, and there's 50,000 accounts that are all scheduled to continue buying. Do you sell that, or do you buy it? Well, you buy it. And if you believe this is the opportunity that, oh my God, I'm finally getting an opportunity to step in and buy this at a low price, you might actually buy more. And Rhino is perfect. Well, the goal of Rhino has always been one single objective: to transfer the wealth from the 1% who own 80% of the world back to the population. There is no such thing as a corporation making a profit without a customer. There's no such thing as an elected official without a voter. People are the value of the world. How do you go ahead and transfer the wealth from the 1% back to the people? Well, where does the 1% keep their wealth? In investments. It's not like they have $1 billion under their bed. How do we get it? Well, that money transfers all the time. It buys this stock, then it goes to that stock, then it buys this bond, and so we know where the money is and we know it's transferable. So how do we transfer it? Well, it transfers to where it's best treated. So if you're able to produce a competing investment that is equally as safe but with a higher upside return, the money transfers automatically to that investment. So how do we do that? Duh, we're doing it right now. If all of the people collectively create an investment of themselves, what's more guaranteed than the population of the entire globe? In fact, when the population doesn't exist anymore, it doesn't matter. The world blew up. So this is the most guaranteed safe thing in the entire world. Rhino's billion supply is gone and it's just doubling and tripling and going up 80,000 times in a week. Well, the people that have the large money, that own Walmart, are, all right, I own, Walmart stock. It's doing good. But this Rhino thing goes up like 100% a day. It just doesn't stop. All right, I'm gonna sell some of my Walmart and I wanna buy some of this Rhino. Why wouldn't I? What just happened? You just transferred money from Wall Street to Main Street. And why do I say Rhino's Main Street? Rhino is purposely low dollar plans. If you are a billionaire, you have no use for Rhino because the most you could put into a plan is $1,000 a week. But if you're someone that makes $50,000 a year and you have a $25 plan, Rhino is a large part of your income, meaning Rhino is scaled the 99% that is outside that top 1%, meaning Rhino actually is Main Street. If anyone sells an asset to buy Rhino, it's Wall Street to Main Street. Rhino at $1,000, what is Rhino worth? $1 trillion. That $1 trillion, where'd it come from though? So you're telling me we just transferred $1 trillion from Wall Street to Main Street? Yes. And we did that all because we just got involved with something together and it was really ingeniously built. Yes. Oh, that's Rhino. I think so highly of you that I want you to take what I'm about to say and find a way to use it one day so that I can speak to other people and share with them what I think of you. Hello, Anthony. I hope your Sunday's going great. After much thinking, I've settled on a few words below. By definition, as I'm sure you already know, a testimony is a declaration of fact or truth. What I've written below is bold, and I do hope you'll be able to use it. Furthermore, should anyone ever approach you looking to speak to one of your subscribers, then I would be more than willing to put forward just how good of a setup this really is. And to keep the record straight, I'm not looking for any form of compensation for this whatsoever. All I would like to do is help in what limited ways I can to get membership up, which of course will help all of us. Please let me know if I can help at all. Anyway, here goes. Rhino Bucks is absolutely revolutionary. It is the brainchild of Anthony, who is genuine, ethical, contactable, and has a real desire to deliver the power back to the masses. Having been associated with Anthony for over 2 years, I'm absolutely delighted with him as a person and also his results, as you will be too. If you're serious about building wealth, you cannot afford to pass this one by. All of the best to you and your family. Then I followed along into Rhino Bucks to see if this crazy guy named Anthony, who was talking about a crazy plan to make all kinds of money, could just be crazy enough to pull it off. Child plan, which is just $1 a week. The beginner plan, which is $25 a week. Slow and steady plan, which is $50 a week. Retirement, $100. Quick equity build-up plan, $500. And accelerated equity build-up plan, $1,000. And if I was watching this presentation for the first time, I'd say, oh my God, I wish I knew this months ago. Because I would like to get in, but I had some in an account already. I went ahead and added this bump. Do you want to bring your attention to the footer of this webpage? There are things you should always be conscious of whenever you're getting involved with any type of investment. Like, who are these people? Documentation, Rhino registration. It's probably important to know. We also believe that if you're ever going to invest in a company, you should actually make sure they're incorporated. I know that sounds silly. Market listing, we are publicly traded. Pancake swap. Market price, let's see where we're at, $2.42, 120,000, see the number of liquidity there, Rhino ledger, all of these different metrics, coin balance, weekly account, projected sell amount, daily volume, Rhino price. This is really great. I want to show you this. See the NASDAQ, see Bitcoin, see liquidity pool, see market price. They all correlate to the price of Rhino Bucks, but how? Tell me the price of Bitcoin and the price of the NASDAQ and how much daily volume there is. What's the growth rate of Rhino? What was the previous price? How much Rhino is being purchased? What's the liquidity pool? If you tell me all of those things together, I'll tell you the price of Rhino. That's what this is. So let me show you. So the yellow line is where we are today, because all those calculations I just said to you, I built out the algorithm. This calculates every metric you see here, correlates its growth or decline rate in correlation with every other assets that make up the price of Rhino. If you're going to wonder if Rhino is going to go up or down, you could very easily see, because every one of these numbers is based on all the calculations of every metric that's ever been recorded. If you see the price going up, well, that's a good thing. If you see the price going down, that's a bad thing. Rhino Hub, Rhino Street, Rhino Email, Rhino Wealth, Rhino Prompt. In the news, we have applications every week. If you want to join us every morning, zoomrhino.com. If you want to watch the replays, 448 videos. Twitter, oh, there's my children. Hold on a second. So for Father's Day, that's my son, boss like dad. And that's my daughter. Verified by Elon Musk, yeah. So I alluded to it before, but Salesforce is a pretty big company, and we are certified by them. I promise you, they made sure that we are who we are. If you're not in, there's probably a nice way of saying it. I'm trying not to be overly, but like, get in. Stop overthinking this. Do the dollar if you want. Because I know that when we really start going, the conversation you'll have with a friend, yeah, I got on this webinar, he yelled at me, and I'm actually really happy. It was $1 and I got a chance to get to meet them, and it's been a good run. Conversely, if it doesn't go well, yeah, he was I got in, I got in the dollar plan. 3 weeks later, I'm like, this is just like completely, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time with this. And for $3, you know, I've made worse decisions. That's the risk reward we're talking about. So that's it. Love you. If you're not in, I'm judging you. Goodbye.